home cures for my flu today. Please welcome Joan Rivers.
Great.
Oh, I love you.
That's very nice. Thank you. Nice.
And I must say, I probably would have called in sick again today if you weren't here.
I know. That's why I said don't touch me, because you're sick. That's all right. So what did you do? Did you go to the doctor?
Well, no, I didn't go to the doctor. My father says if you go to the doctor, you'll get better in a week. If you don't, you'll get better in 7 days.
Yes, that's right. My father was a doctor. He said the same thing. No, you go to the doctor, they take the specimen right away. Oh, don't you hate that when they give you the fill this bottle up?
Yes.
And you're walking down Park Avenue with, you know, I always put noodles into mine in case you meet somebody. It's just like...
But you came from a doctor's family,
My
though.
dad was but not... well, my dad is dead now, so I can say it. He only went 2 years to medical school and 2 years to Tijuana, so it was like, you know, does that look right to you, nurse? And the nurse would say, what does it matter? You know.
Did he cure you at home, though, when you had...
Well, when you're a doctor's daughter, you know, it's the other side of the coin. You can't wait for an epidemic, because that means a new stove for mother. I mean, I once had trench mouth. My mother said, kiss every kid in the neighborhood. Hurry up, get it.
But you look so healthy. This morning, I walked in and back there, and you don't. Do you mind if I say this? I walked in before you went into makeup, and you went like this. Don't even look at me, and you looked fabulous.
Oh, sure. You didn't. Oh, please. You didn't say it.
No, you know what? I am not kidding, because when I walked back there...
When your dog throws up. I have a dog that reaches for a cross when I come down in the morning.
I thought you looked great.
Listen, a peeping Tom looked in the window and pulled down the shade. Let's not... Because I'm at the age now where a woman's body is, you know...
But you're so thin.
Oh, but it's low. I'm thin and low.
Thin and low.
I can... I can sit down while standing up now. I run across the floor, I get windburns in my rear end. I mean, it's just like...
What do you do to stay so thin, though? Do you diet? Do you exercise?
I try to diet, but it's... I have... Gandhi had better muscle tone than I do. I mean, I have... it's hard. I try to diet, but it's... I retain water. You reach a certain age. Do the women know? And I mean, Jacques Cousteau spent 3 months in my right thigh. I mean, it's like just...
But
it's tough.
Do you work out?
Are you crazy?
What?
No, I bought the Jane Fonda workout book, and I use it as a tray now. I put my food on the tray. It's, can't do it. Can't do it.
Well, I know you just got back from where?
Skiing. I went skiing
in Colorado.
Special Olympic skiing.
Did you get on the skis and actually...
I got on the skis, which was a joke. My daughter Melissa skis, and she was on the program, by the way, and you were darling to her.
Oh, yes,
you were just darling to her.
She's a doll.
And so she skis and she does. I just stand around and I get very cold and I sound like Mel Tillis, you know, you like, it was free. Have you ever been skiing? Do you ski?
I have never skied in my life. Every year I say I'm going to do it, and then I'm afraid of coming back and breaking my leg.
Well, the instructors are all Austrian. I mean, they put their skis against the door and they turn it into a swastika. I mean, you've never seen a bunch of Nazis. You will ski. You will, all right, Jew, go down the hill. My legs are all black and blue, brother. I'm not athletic. I wear, you know, water wings to sit down on the bidet. I just...
Is there any sport that you're good at?
Ping pong.
Ping pong?
But I wear a helmet for that. I mean, I'm just not... Are you good at a sport?
Actually, I was never very sport-oriented.
Oh, I'm so glad.
I was a fat little kid. So were you.
So was
Chubette. I was a chubette when I was a little kid.
Where did you buy your clothes?
As a chubette?
Yes.
The fat little kid store.
Yes. Didn't you die when your mother would take you there?
You know what they come into me? They go, he's going to grow up to be a boxer. Yeah. Because I was so big. Or a football player. That's a nice way of saying you're fat. You got a fat, ugly kid. Exactly. He's going to grow up to be a football player.
My mother was so embarrassed to pick me up at school, she pretended she was carpooling. I was like, She would never say I was her kid. Get in the back, look down, look down. Are we going to eat soon?
But don't you always think of yourself as fat? I always think of myself as fat because I was a fat little kid.
Oh, you never get over it. The only time, but I'm not a good dieter. I'm always saying I'll diet tomorrow. The only time I dieted was when I was pregnant because I was scared that I'd really like blow up. I mean, my stomach growled so much that people thought I was carrying Lassie. I mean, it was just... But I love to eat.
What about Spike now?
Spike,
Speaking of Lassie, let's go on.
Him.
I know you wouldn't eat him, but you take him to the restaurants with you. This caused quite a furor in the newspapers.
Oh, that was a lie.
Oh, that was what? Yeah, what was the lie about it?
That it didn't cause a furor.
It didn't cause a furor.
It only caused a furor on page 6. You know what I mean? Well, let's write this up.
They let you bring Spike in, and
they don't know. He's a little Yorkie, and you put him in your bag, and he doesn't do anything. He thinks he's like a muff. Yeah. And you just sit him down, and he's a lot cleaner than a lot of people spitting around at the next table. You know,
well, they say a dog's mouth is cleaner than our own,
yes.
really, because of the body
germs
temperature.
Yeah.
What does he like to eat?
What does he like to eat?
The dog.
Same as me. Milk bones and Kennel ration. My last birthday, a friend of mine sent me a case of Alpo 3. Isn't that mean? That's for older dogs. That was 2 insults.
You mentioned your daughter, Melissa. Who I interviewed when I did People Are Talking in Philadelphia.
Yes.
And I must say, she was such an unaffected...
Yeah.
young person, and really to have a mother who is such a big
so
star.
Affected, yeah.
Well, no, not affected. But
yeah,
you must be very proud of her.
Yeah, she's terrific.
What is she going to do?
She's a,
really, give her a round of applause.
Terrific.
Because really, her daughter is
terrific. Yeah. I can't.
Just a wonderful.
She wants to be an actress, of course, and she's very good. So who knows?
How do you feel about that?
Terrible.
Yeah. Considering what this business is like.
It's a business of rejection. I mean, your whole life. For everything, people see us and they all say, isn't that great? You have 12 projects going, as you know. If one comes through, you go, isn't that great? And people only hear about the one, they don't hear about the other 11 that people go, we don't want you for that. Are you kidding? Bang. I mean, and now my dog Spike just got rejected. Got rejected? Got rejected for a Eukanuba ad. They didn't want Spike. Who used to eat Eukanuba. Then, if I remember, it gave him a stomachache, so we don't eat it anymore. No, you're rejected all over the place. It's terrible.
You have to have a certain kind of resiliency to keep coming back.
Yes, stupidity.
Stupidity.
That's why Vanna White did so well in this business, because she's so good looking and there's nothing upstairs. She is very beautiful, very dumb. Have you ever spoken to her?
I have spoken with her.
She reads USA Yesterday. I mean, she's just like...
She's going to be a guest on Pat Sajak's show.
I'll bet she is. Yeah, she's very nice, not too bright.
She's going to be one of his guests next week, but he also said that they have nothing to talk about.
Well, ask Vanna White to spell mom backward. That'll take her 20 minutes. I mean, but she...
Look at this. Somebody's having a coronary out here.
No, he really said that? They have nothing to say?
What? Yeah, he said it should be interesting because he says when we get off camera, we have nothing to say to each other. He says we talk on the show once in a while, but once we get off camera, there's nothing to say to each other.
She's very sweet. I think he would have a lot to say to her. But that's true that when I was doing the Carson show, and I did it for 22 years, the lights would go up, and you were best friends on the show, telling him everything. The lights would go down, and for 22 years, when the lights went down, I would say to him, the band sounds great. And he would say to me, yes, it does. And then you'd... And it's true, sometimes you just talk on camera, and you have nothing to say.